Princess and the Bee. Ago, in a far distant kingdom, there lived a king, queen, and their young son, the prince. The king and queen were very proud of their son. He was their only child, and as far as his parents were concerned, nothing was too good for him. From the day that he was born, the boy was given the very best of everything. He wore the finest clothes, he ate the choicest of food, he had the noblest of horses to ride, and he had the best of teachers. The prince grew up tall and strong, a credit to his parents. He was clever and good-natured and handsome. When the prince had grown up, he began to think that it was about time that he found a girl to love and to marry. Of course, such a fine young man was very popular, and there were many young ladies from noble families in the kingdom who would have dearly loved to become the prince's wife. In other kingdoms, near and far, word had spread of the prince, and there were many young ladies who would give anything to become his bride. But the queen determined that the only very best was enough for us. The prince came from a very old and respected family and could understand why his mother wanted him to marry a true princess. He told her that he would only consider courting young ladies who came from other royal families. But the queen did not satisfy. These young ladies may come from royal families, she said, but they may still not be true princesses. You must marry a true princess. How shall I be able to tell who is and who isn't a true princess? Trust me, my son, I shall find you a true princess to marry, said the queen. The days that followed, the queen sent out messengers near and far to make it known that the prince was looking for a princess to marry. Any young ladies of royal blood who wanted to be considered as a possible bride for the prince were to make their wishes known to the palace. Everyone would be invited to the palace in turn to spend one night in the guest suite. The royal family would then only be able to make a decision that who would be able to become the prince. The messengers all set off on their journeys, and the queen gathered her servants together to prepare the guest suite in the palace. The rooms in the guest suite were very grand. Bedrooms had in it a large and comfortable bed with a soft feather mattress. But the queen did not appear to think that it was comfortable enough. She ordered her puzzled servants to bring in 19 more mattresses and to pile them up. 20 mattresses on it. The bed was so high that a ladder was needed to get into it, but the queen was satisfied. She also slipped a pea underneath the mat. I was very busy in the palace during the coming weeks. Countless young ladies wanted to marry the prince. Every night another carriage would drive through the palace gates with another hopeful bride-to-be. All of them were given in the same chance to convince the queen that they would make a suitable bride for her son, and they all claimed to be from royal families. After giving a sumptuous dinner, each princess was taken to the guest suite to spend the night before returning home. Many princesses came to the palace. Some were beautiful and some were charming. Most of them came from royal families, but according to the queen, none of them was a true princess. She asked each one the same question, did you sleep well? And each girl replied politely, yes, thank you, your majesty, I slept well. The queen put fruit, and when the girl left, she turned to her son and said she was not a true princess. After some time, the flow of visitors to the castle stopped altogether. Weeks went by, and the prince felt sure that he would never marry, but the queen told him not to worry. Our princess will come one day, wait and see. One dark and stormy night, the prince was listening to the wind. The prince followed the servant and saw a young woman standing on the palace door. The prince took pity on the girl and some wine for her. She ate her meal by the fire. The prince sat beside her and they talked. He noticed that the girl's clothes were threadbare and her shoes worn out. I was brought up by a poor old woman in a village. She found me in the forest when I was a baby. The queen said that the girl could stay the night. The prince was delighted. The girl looked worn out, so he showed her to the guest suite and said good night. At breakfast, the poor girl looked even more tired than before. The prince felt sorry for her. The queen asked if she had slept well. She said, I hate to be rude, Your Majesty, but I cannot lie. The queen surprisingly looked at her son and said, my son, we have found a true princess. Prince was happy. He knew he loved girl, but he was puzzled that how could you know that she is not a princess? His mother smiled and took the prince and the girl to the guest suite. From beneath the pile of mattresses, took out the pea and showed it to them both. Only a true princess could feel this under 20 feather mattresses, she said. The prince and the true princess laughed at the queen's cunning. Then the prince asked the true princess to marry him. She agreed and they went to tell the king to make preparations for the grand wedding. Thank you guys for watching.